Hi, I'm Mary Corcoran. I'm the Program Director for the PhD program in Translational Health Sciences here at George Washington University. Thank you for listening to my overview of the program. There is much evidence to conclude that gaps exist in the translation of research to widespread practice. Very little of our healthcare spending focuses on finding out what treatments are effective outside of controlled research settings. When information about treatment efficacy is published, even in very high-impact journals such as JAMA, research has shown it takes up to 17 years to actually be widely seen in practice. The bottom line is that decisions are being made without the benefit of the most recent research findings. Society can no longer afford to do business as usual, and many in the research community are exploring what changes are needed and how to make them. This focus on translation was initiated in the early 2000s by funding several centers for translational research. Despite that effort, there is much more to be done. Part of the solution may be in learning how to conduct research differently. Translational health sciences is the field devoted to understanding processes and principles required to explicitly support translation across the translational spectrum. What translational activities and interrelationships are necessary for successful translation? Generally, movement of information is referred to as a translational spectrum. Laboratory research is represented in the T1 space, and the most promising discoveries are examined in clinical trials for their application to human health. These clinical trials at T2 are conducted in carefully controlled environments. So T3 involves understanding what factors are at play when findings from T2 are implemented more widely. Finally, T4 represents a phase where good practice becomes good policy. We talk about the focus of translational science being translation of existing evidence into practice or policy, and understanding the factors that make that translation possible. Three definitions are important to understanding this field, which come from a recent publication by the director of the National Center for the Advancement of Translational Science at NIH. These include translation, which involves processes by which scientific discoveries are turned into interventions; translational research, which is a scientific study undertaken to bridge one or more gaps in the translational spectrum and in relation to a specific target, disease, or condition; and translational science, which is the field of investigation to understand a range of scientific and operational principles influencing the translational process. The GW PhD degree in Translational Health Sciences contributes to the field of translational science by teaching students to use a range of methodologies, including collaboration with key stakeholders, and to focus on how knowledge is translated. The PhD in Translational Health Sciences has adopted this graphic to illustrate the framework for our program. Our foundation consists of collaboration science, implementation science, and translational research. Collaboration science involves complex problem solving by incorporating the unique perspectives and knowledge of a range of stakeholders. Implementation science, also known as dissemination and implementation science, examines the processes and strategies influencing the movement of evidence to practice. Translational research requires conceptualizing evidence as a continuum of knowledge and discovery from basic science to public health. Coursework is designed to lead you to synthesize information from these foundational concepts and apply them to your own topic of interest. This graphic provides an illustration of the phases of the PhD program. Year 1 includes coursework and the scholarly task of naming and framing a problem to address in your dissertation. Year 2 continues coursework, but the scholarly task turns to designing the study, forming the dissertation committee, and taking comprehensive exams. Year 3 includes defending the proposal and getting IRB approval, which leads to doctoral candidacy. During the candidacy phase in years 3 and beyond, you conduct your research and defend your dissertation. The coursework in the first 2 years that I referenced on the last slide includes 54 credits that are organized in several topical areas to reflect our program foundations. These topical areas include collaboration science, research design, and implementation science. You are also required to take 6 credits of electives and 12 credits of dissertation seminar. Our cohort-based program uses a blended format. This involves you in a cycle of reading, reflecting, applying, interacting, synthesizing, integrating, and ultimately generating new knowledge. Some of these aspects of the blended learning cycle happen online, and some happen in face-to-face meetings. The face-to-face portion of the curriculum takes place over 2 long weekends per semester. In between those on-campus meetings, you work with your instructors online. The online portion and the face-to-face portion are optimally and purposefully designed as a spiral of learning with new learning scaffolding on what was learned previously. Just a little bit about the faculty. Translational science requires the perspectives of many disciplines and professions. So we have a large group of potential mentors who have expressed interest in teaching, serving on committees, or engaging in other ways with students. Our network is always growing, and we have a large pool to draw from with over 600 faculty in the School of Medicine and Health Sciences alone. I just want to make a brief point about faculty roles besides teaching. 2 important faculty roles include advising and mentoring. Advisors in particular have a critical role. The advisor is assigned to you at the time of orientation and works with you from that point to set goals for yourself and to connect with possible mentors. Mentors may offer anything from short-term or long-term research immersions to just a chat, providing you with some guidance. Your dissertation committee may be comprised of individuals occupying the role of an advisor or a mentor. So let's recap your road to graduation. Your 54 credits total are comprised of 42 credits during the first 5 semesters. After semester 5, you take your comprehensive exams, then begin to take 12 credits of dissertation-related seminar work. We anticipate that most students will defend their dissertation proposal and get IRB approval in semester 7, thereby achieving doctoral candidacy. You continue to focus on completing your dissertation with your committee. Does this sound like a good fit with your career plans? Here are the requirements for admission, which you can also find on our website. Thank you for your interest in the GW PhD program in Translational Health Sciences.